Good morning, Facebook.
Good morning, Facebook, YouTube. Good morning, going. Welcome to Help Matters, guys. We're going to be talking to Jacoby Carpenter. He is the Community Engagement Manager for CenterWell Primary Care. So, guys, stay tuned. Lots and lots of great information concerning senior care. Good morning, everyone. This is Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
Guys, you're listening to Help Matters here on WAAW Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth.
Another beautiful day
that the Lord has made.
And we're going to rejoice.
And be glad in it.
That we're going to do every day, each and every day.
Yeah, we have to choose that. We have to choose that every single day. And so, Coach, I was just thinking about some things, this week, just things being grateful for. I've been writing down things that I'm grateful for because, like I say, nothing is too big or too small that we don't have to be, that's not that we can be grateful for. Just waking up in the morning, that's something to be grateful for. But just
the simple things.
Just the simple things to be starting off with that, the simple things to be grateful for. I'm able to eat food. A lot of people cannot, eat their food on their own. But we just thinking about still able, God is still providing shelter, food, because there's so much going on right now.
So much.
And we have to continue to lift up families and the people in this world, what's going on with the furloughs and all the cuts and
government
shutdown. We got to lift up families and help if we can help.
Right.
If you're able, help if you can help, because there's families out there, that need help. They needed help anyway, but they need help even more now. Support the Golden Harvest Food Bank, those out there. We really have to be very, very grateful if you have food to eat today, or you can pay your bills.
That's right.
You can do those things. These things that you don't take these things for granted, because we go through our day or we go through life, with these things, knowing that paycheck gonna be in there, and I'm gonna be in the bank. I didn't work, so I'm trusting.
Right.
So you always should put your trust in God, because He's our source.
He's
but you really got to put your trust in God for every area of your life. You got to put your trust in God. You have to put your trust in God, regardless.
That's right.
And even more now.
Yeah, and and the longer that this government shutdown is in place, the more people and things that it's gonna affect. So let's be in prayer about that. That the politicians and the leaders in this country can come together and get this thing moving back the way it should be moving. You got people that may be missing out on some benefits and things of that nature. I need to turn you up some.
No, you sound kind of echoey.
Okay, I thought I did sound that way too. I don't know why.
Okay,
because I
we're
don't
gonna
know where that
going,
other mic is coming from. But okay, So it's so important to be aware of the times, though. Just be aware of the times. This could be a sign of the times. It could be a sign of birth pains, and we know that birth pains don't decrease; they increase, they intensify. So be aware of that, and put things in place so that you can endure through these seasons that we go through, and that we may have to go through. So you just never know. So all right, Jackie, October birthdays. Happy birthday to everybody celebrating a birthday in October. My beautiful wife. Celebrated her birthday on this morning. My daughter celebrated her birthday on this month, and quite a few others celebrated birthdays on this month
Yeah,
of
my
October.
friend Patricia Lee celebrated her birthday. We had Angela Williams. She celebrated her birthday, I think yesterday. She celebrated her birthday yesterday or day before yesterday.
So happy birthday.
Those who celebrated their birthday in the month of October, and all those and everyone that got married in this month.
Happy anniversary. October. Happy anniversary.
Yes, happy anniversary to you guys.
Enjoy your day. Celebrate yourself and continue to become one if you're celebrating an anniversaries. Yes. Like to acknowledge our sponsors, our friend Dr. Dan, Aiken Chiropractic. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest, in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191. Their website, www.aikenchiropractic.com. If you would like to be a sponsor, partner, or friend of the broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862.
And I also like to welcome those who have joined us on the social media platform. Good morning, Deborah McDaniel. Good morning, Wayne Jameson, and those who are joining us this morning. We got a great show this morning, full of information, guys, this morning. So we'll be coming on shortly, but I guess we're gonna clean house, y'all. I hope y'all enjoying this cool weather.
That's
it's
right.
not cold yet. It's cool.
That shift.
So we don't know how long it's gonna last, but we hopefully it'll last. Well, but I think that Friday is the last day of the month, and I think we go into fall backwards. Because it's a little bit earlier this year, November. I think it's November 1st.
I don't know the exact date, but I know it's
yes, because it used to be that 5th. The second week, but I think it's the first week. And correct me if I'm wrong.
So you go to work, it's dark. You come home, it's dark and cold.
You remember those days in Germany? It was like that.
Oh yeah, you going to work in Germany. You better scrape all that snow off
I
them
know
cars.
it. See, in here you have snow. You just stay in the bed.
Shut down.
But no, you snow in Germany. You better get on up. Get your snow gear. Everybody got their snow stuff. Mm-hmm. Cut that car on 30 minutes prior and get the scraping and get on up the road.
Gotta do
and get through work.
Let me share this announcement real quick, Jack, before we get started.
Okay, go ahead, Coach.
Celebrating 65 years of gospel legacy, the Flying Clouds of South Carolina, New Beginning. They're going to have a gospel legacy celebration on Sunday, November the 9th. And the doors are going to open at 3 p.m. and the program is going to begin at 4 o'clock p.m. $25 for adults, $10 for ages 6 to 16. So it's going to be an awesome event. Like it's going to be held at McCormick Middle School, which is located at 6979 Highway 28 South. That's in McCormick, South Carolina. Again, that address is 6979 Highway 28 South in McCormick, South Carolina. That's McCormick Middle School, celebrating 65 years of gospel legacy. Got some gospel artists going to be there. So I'm pretty sure they're going to have a great time at that event. Vendors are welcome. For more details, you can get in touch with Lord or Tony Kennedy. And the number is 407-733-7008. Or Welvin Simpkins at 803-480-2391.
Yes. I see we got Ty Tribbett coming to town.
Ty Tribbett is coming.
Miller,
Georgia.
Yeah, Ty Tribbett.
Miller Theater. I said Miller, Georgia.
It's
November 2nd.
It's early.
Yeah, November 2nd, Miller, Georgia. Also.
No, that's November the
2nd.
November 2nd.
Mm-hmm. November 2nd, Miller Theater.
Yes,
Ty Tribbett.
Yes. So,
make sure you get your tickets. So
all right, we need to clean house and pay.
So we did that.
Yes.
So your book.
Yes,
Um,
yes, yes. Aiken Chiropractor, Dr. Dan.
I did
Yes.
that.
Oh, okay, okay.
I
Oh,
did that.
okay. I don't remember
I
that,
did,
Coach. I
yeah,
really don't
right after the
remember.
birthdays. But anyway, guys, I just wanted to throw out that that Jackie's book is out there, is available. You can go on Amazon.com and order her book, or you can go on womenonandwellness.com and order her book. Her book is, no, I can't even have it.
Still becoming a
Still
woman's
becoming
journey
a
from
woman's journey
wellness to
from wellness to
wholeness. See,
wholeness.
nobody can tell your story like you can tell your
Oh yeah,
story.
I had a aging moment there.
All right, that's why I kind of take the time and talk slow.
I had
That's
an
cool.
aging moment there. But yeah, so Still Becoming a Woman's Journey from Wellness to Wholeness.
Yes.
Awesome book, y'all. If you haven't got it, you want to make sure you get that book. You can order it on Amazon.com, or you can go to womenonandwellness.com, and there'll be a link for you there that'll take you to Amazon.com that you can order that book. All right. So, Jackie, we're going to be talking about senior primary care on
Yes. Yes.
today,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we got CenterWell that's going to be coming on to talk to us. We'll be interviewing Jacoby Carpenter this morning. He's the community engagement manager for CenterWell, and he'll be talking about what the services they provide for the CSRA area. But Jackie, as we get into that conversation, I just thought about as people age, and how
Mm-hmm.
things change, is their need for care, often increases
Pitching.
as
Yes.
people ages, because they could be having some health challenges or whatever,
Yeah.
but it encompasses physical, emotional, and social support, and all those areas are important for everyone, but especially for people and seniors, elderly, as they age, to try and stay functional in all of those areas.
Yeah, and I like CenterWell because CenterWell is designed with seniors in mind, and it focuses on practical access, you know, to make things life easy for
Seniors.
seniors.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing, and it's about the community. It's about even the personalized pharmacy care, and the stay homes, stay healthy. They even build it around you at home because some people cannot get out
Mm-hmm.
to go to the doctor, so they bring them
Right.
to you. So it's so many things have changed.
Mm-hmm.
And things are shifting.
Processes.
It's
Yeah.
shifting and it's changing, and change is inevitable. We can't stop the change. We just have to make the corrections, the adjustments, and tweak some things, so we can continue to still not only just survive, we
Mm-hmm.
want to continue to thrive. We want to be known as the thriving seniors,
Most definitely.
so we're still got our
Super
right
agers.
mind. We're still in our right mind. We're still able to do the things that we need to do. Like Coach said, stay functional.
Mm-hmm.
And that's like in every area of life. You got seniors, we're still driving.
Right.
We're doing things. We're
Mm-hmm.
getting out.
Very
We're
independent. Yeah.
communicating. We're connecting with other seniors. So it's very important that we have that connection and that community as we age. But I want to take a moment to give a shout out to Emoji Village for another successful round of Unity Fest that they had
Shoutfest,
last
Unity
week.
Fest.
So,
Awesome.
guys, congratulations on Don and Donald Westby, the CEO and COO of Emoji Village,
And the
uh,
whole crew,
and
their
the
team,
whole
volunteers,
volunteer
everybody.
staff, and
Awesome job.
everybody and their sponsors that came out. Thank you. Continue to do great work. Continue to move forward in the things God has given you to do to connect the community and to unify the community.
Jackie, talking about the seniors, caregiving for them, for the elderly, is not just about meeting basic needs, just like you just said. It's also about enhancing their quality of life. Think about this, like the shifting you talked about, the shifting in how we do things,
Mm-hmm.
with technology and electronics and all of those things. That's one of the things that seniors tend to move away from
Mm-hmm.
sometimes. So it's so important that we even get them comfortable with using those tools, because a lot of times they have to go online to deal with healthcare facilities and look at records or whatever they may have to do,
The
and a lot of them
porters.
don't have confidence to do that.
And I think CenterWell prepares them and show them how to do that because most seniors that I have worked with or work with, they don't like computers.
Mm-hmm.
They don't like dealing with computers. They don't like even associating with computers. They
Mm-hmm.
still like going in person, paying their bills. They still like doing things in
Right,
person.
that social engagement,
Yes,
especially
yes,
as you age, that's one of the things that you really, really love, that social engagement because it just fosters connections.
right. You're
It fosters
absolutely right.
connections.
You're right,
And
Coach.
seniors need that. A lot of them like to communicate, they like to communicate their experiences and things like that. I love,
Right.
speaking to seniors because they have a
Yes.
lot to share.
Absolutely. A lot of wisdom in that. So, like we said, we're going to be talking to CenterWell primary care this morning. So, Carly, you're on the air. Hello, hello. Hi, Jacoby. Good morning. Good morning. So glad to glad you called this morning. We was just kind of going over some things. Kind of did my homework this morning and with Senior Well, so I kind of put some things out there. But go ahead and let the CSRA audience know who you are and what you do in the community. And we're going to get into this interview so we can connect this community with you guys, and let's get the ball rolling.
For sure. Well, yeah. First of all, thank y'all so much for having me on, and I'm so glad that I was able to connect with you in person at our grand opening event a few weeks ago. But I'm Jacoby Carpenter. I'm our community engagement manager with CenterWell Primary Care. Um, we are a new senior focused primary care doctor's office here in the Augusta market. We have two new locations. One is our West Augusta location that's off of Riceboro Road, and then our North Augusta location just actually opened up last week. That's off of East Martintown Road, so they'll be closer to our folks that cross the river on the South Carolina line. But yeah, we're a senior focused primary care doctor's office that's offering what we call value based care. We typically design, for patients 65 or older or Medicare friendly patients, and we accept original Medicare and many Medicare Advantage plans. And if anyone that's unsure of their coverage, we're happy to, check that out and help them with it.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Jacoby. This is Coach Patrick here. Good to meet you, man. How you been doing?
Honestly, Coach, I'm busy. Busy on the road. Like I told Jackie last night, I wanted obviously to do this interview in person. I think human connection and human factor is everything, especially in our industry, what we do. But I was in Savannah speaking at a conference, the Georgia Senior Living Association annual conference, which is very related, to our field. But I've been so busy because this is my community, the CSRA, and I'm so passionate and happy about what we're bringing to this community. And it's just been since we hit the ground rolling. August 18th was our first day opening the West Augusta location. It's just been a nonstop PR tour, but also having these one-on-one connections with our community partners, as well as the actual seniors and prospects and patients in the community that are looking to learn a little bit more about CenterWell. So I've been on the move, doing the good work, honestly. So it's been a really, really good session of busy this lately.
That's awesome, man. It takes a passion to do what you do, especially when it comes to the elderly care and wellness and things of that nature. But what inspired you to focus your career around improving the health and wellness for seniors in communities like the CSRA?
Sure. So I would say for me personally, coming from a background of I started in undergrad. I went to school at Georgia Southern University, but I started my part-time job was I started being a group fitness instructor, and it wasn't enough from the pay to talk home about, but it was something that I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. This is me at the time teaching college students, but students that are also insecure about their own weight and being able to like keep off the freshman 15, etc., all that. So and I was able to link that with my full-time passion of working in the risk management insurance industry side. So being an insurance agent at Northwestern Mutual, coaching, clients from all ages on the importance of, risk management, financial protection, right? And, the importance of having disability insurance, in comparison with your employer's insurance, just in case something goes wrong, if you get hurt, and, keeping yourself healthy. And then it just, throughout the years, each job that I got or whatever, it always continued to be very closely aligned with my fitness and wellness coaching. And so this one, I would say, is like the first. This is the dream job because it combines really everything all together. So the passion, like you mentioned, like it naturally comes from a place of fire because I'm in my community. I see what the need is. I see that there's been, overlooked voices, and unseen faces, especially in the doctor's office. And we have brought a value-based care model approach to this area, and it's so much need that needs to be done. And so that's where I would say like all of it's coming together for me.
That's awesome. That's that why. And I always tell people, ask people, what is your why? What is your qualified why that with the meaning and a purpose? And so I can relate with you starting off as a young instructor years ago, actually over 37 years ago, before certifications even became a certification. And so we was out there. So I'm old school. So just yeah.
Yeah, and history repeats itself. You'd be surprised how much I think I could probably learn from taking one of your classes right now.
I tell you, they used to call me the Energizer Bunny. I had so much energy. I love what I did, and I still love what I do. I focus more on the seniors, active agers. And so, but in my beginning, yeah, I relate to you. It was a job, but I loved it. But everything that I did and coming from there and going into healthcare, going into the healthcare field, working in the hospital, retiring there. So, but this always followed me. It just wouldn't, but it turned into health and wellness. But my own journey, Jacoby, was me being diagnosed with early stage breast cancer. And so that's where my passion became a purpose. And so I can relate to that. I can really relate to that. But Jacoby, tell us what sets CenterWell Senior Care apart, and what makes it different, going to versus going to a traditional doctor. So what sets you guys apart?
Sure. I would say so. Our unique design is, and I'm gonna touch on the breast cancer. And thank you for being a fighter. Also, Jackie, being able to be here with us today to share your story. There's definitely some alignment there with us there. I'll get you in a second. But CenterWell is different from a traditional doctor's office. Well, first off, we're specifically tailored for seniors. So many seniors don't know that there's other options besides many of the, I call them the big box providers. Like if you think of downtown Augusta, the medical center, that include multiple, elevators and parking garages and all of that. I think you've now been to our West Augusta location and you understand the simplicity of, pulling up. Granted, we are next to the Chuck E. Cheese. I always
Yes.
Yeah.
put that out there to make it easy for people to find us, but I always tell people you ain't got to worry about no kids running over or nothing like that. They stay next door. But you pull straight up to us and you walk inside. Like so, we create convenience from the start, and that's one of the first things that sets us apart because that honestly really makes or breaks a patient's experience, right? From the start is, they gotta go to a parking garage, get in the elevator, go down, go to a lobby, do all of that. It's just such a cold, stale experience from the get-go, and we create a very warm, welcoming, opening experience from the get-go. But another thing is our care model. So we do what we call value-based care versus fee-for-service care. so without getting into the specific nuances, it's just two different models where one, where traditional doctor's offices, their fee for services, we're seeing as many people as we can, and you're not getting probably as much time with your doctor in those sessions. You're probably not getting all of your answers covered because your fee for services, let's kind of churn and burn. Where a value-based care model is a flip-sided model, and just full transparency, the downside is we have a different revenue structure. And so we don't obviously make as much as a fee for service. And the downside is we're trading that off by ensuring that we're giving true value based care to our clients. So we're able to offer our clients 50% more time with their doctors, right? We're able to offer our clients, this time to truly delve into their questions as well, and not just our doctor saying, okay, what's wrong? Here's a prescription. See you in a few weeks, or see you in a few months, right? Our job is to keep our patients healthy, and we keep them healthy, and we keep them out of the emergency room or out of, the specialist room if they don't need to. And the best way to do that is by offering, value-based care and getting them this time, in there with their doctors. So I would say besides the longer appointment time, so our patients get all their questions answered and feel more confident about their healthcare plans, our doctors and nurse practitioners can also spend as much time as needed with convenient location, shorter wait times. I always tell people I don't like to call our lobby a waiting room. You go to some doctor's office and say, okay, take a seat at the waiting room. We don't have a waiting room because, again, with our value-based model, we're able to offer a lobby because if your appointment time is at 10:30, we're being very, respectful and mindful of our model. And you're in the lobby where it's warm, it's welcoming, it's open spacious. And we also have social activities on site. So our community center in the West Augusta location, I know we are now in our first month of doing our activity. So last week we did a pumpkin paint and sip. We did a movie and mocktails. This upcoming week, next week, we'll be having bingo on Tuesday, which is always the favorite out of everything. And then on Wednesday, we're doing a doctor's smart talk. So this is a doc talk that our physician and nurse practitioner, Dr. Laxton and Haley, will lead, and it's going to be on diabetes. And it's going to be, 45 minutes to an hour for, them to share some important information, but for our patients, seniors, community members to come in and also get their questions answered. So to answer your question, there's a lot of different differences from a physical standpoint that's tangible, to also an intangible difference that really, really can make or break a senior's experience in terms of, their wellness and health upkeep.
Yeah, that is really a wow experience, from everything that you have said, and Coach and I are diabetes educators, and we are CDC certified in Emory University, so we are globally recognized as diabetes educators. So we would love to come over and do something with them. That would,
I was just about to say, like, what next month in November, and I think October, correct me if I'm wrong, because when I was working with Dr. Laxton on the activity calendar, I think there is some diabetes awareness month in October, but that's still such a health condition that's so prominent in our community.
right.
And I mean, obviously, around the world, obviously, but I think that there's so much need for those talks month after month. And because each month, I think there's more people that are being diagnosed. So yes, like if y'all want to come in November, December, I'll give it to you offline. But this is part of what my job is, and what I'm passionate about is connecting with our community members here. So one, there's win-win partnerships, but we're doing the greater good for the community. So absolutely, we can definitely set something like that up for sure.
Yes, absolutely, and that's what Coach and I do.
Yeah, I like the connection part and the
Yes.
relationship building, how your organization approaches that, because I feel that social engagement is so important for seniors. But Jacoby, what is the CenterWell coverage area, that area in the CSRA that they covered, and if you're currently not in Aiken, are there going to be some new locations planned for this area?
Yeah, good question. So right now, and we tried to conveniently position the two new Augusta locations in places where they were kind of to the end, where we think that we can try to get most people. So those the North Augusta location and then the West Augusta location on Wrightsville Road. As of my knowledge right now, currently we've been doing a lot of growing. Especially this year, I've been going to helping and supporting my counterparts with some of our grand openings in the Atlanta metro area. We have about 12, 13 locations there, I believe. And then we have our Savannah location that's also, in my region as well. I think as of right now, and again, this is probably below, way higher than my pay grade to quote specifically. I think right now we're taking a pause on the growth and expansion in the region, so we can actually now work the market. And I think there is, and again, I can't quote the decision makers specifically from the top. I'm speaking for myself. Growth is so much good, and we're happy for it, but then it comes to a time where it's like, okay, it's time to work. It's time to actually, take these resources that we've planted and, grow these plants. And we want to still take feedback in consideration from the community. So if someone, is saying like, hey, I really, really want to go to these guys, but it's just like a 2-hour drive. And my current doctor, here, it's only, a 10-minute drive. They'll still give us that feedback and still give us that, those like nuggets, because those are still nuggets we can take back to, the ladder of the top and let them know, hey, what we're doing is working, but there's another niche, there's a new pocket here in this particular area. So if we are out of coverage for someone right now currently in the CSRA, I still ask, like, if you're in the area one day, come in and to either one of our centers. I split my time between the two Augusta centers and our location in Savannah. Come in, and if I'm not available, meet with someone from my team, the community engagement professionals, and let us know this feedback, and still let us give you a tour and show you around, and then let us know that information so we can definitely take it. Our marketing team at home office, they're so phenomenal. Our growth and expansion team, these people work so hard, and I've seen it firsthand, openings of these grand openings with them, and they go city to city. And sometimes I think of like, if I'm getting enough sleep, I know for a fact, I don't know if they're getting enough sleep, but it's coming from such a place of care, and they're taking this feedback into consideration. So please, if we are out of coverage, still let us know, and then let us take it to the top and let us keep working for you.
Now, I know that there are areas or offices in South Carolina, but if I'm in Aiken and the Augusta, Georgia office is closer to me, could I be served at that Augusta, Georgia office, or does it have to be a South Carolina office?
Really great question, Coach. Really great question. So the answer is yes. Where the gray area comes in, and this is where some one-on-one consulting will come in, and we also encourage our agents, if you're not working with a insurance broker or agent for your Medicare plan, definitely we can help, source one for you, i.e., just refer one out to you, or, help get you a little bit closer to understanding, because the gray area comes in terms of which plan you're on, if the coverage is Georgia coverage or South Carolina coverage, because some of the insurance plans, the Medicare Advantage plans, there's certain coverage where it's going to work in Georgia versus if that particular plan is going to work in South Carolina. So it's not more so for us, CenterWell side, it's more so in terms of the insurance plan, if it's going to be some compatibility depending on which side of the river you are. So in cases like that, we ask that either way, just start with us on A, because we do know that insurance and Medicare is so high level, and it's so much complex, information that can be very confusing, can be very overwhelming, and also in terms of creating trust, with patients, a lot of the patients feel like, are they getting, their legs full or someone trying to get over them anything that comes down to insurance, Medicare. So let them know that, us being completely agnostic, we want the best for them. And, we don't, we're not being paid by a particular insurance carrier. If they just want to start with us and call us at one of our locations and say like, hey, um, do I go here or do I go here? And then we can kind of help guide them and get them to the next step to finding that answer for sure.
All right, that's great. Now, you talked about a little bit earlier what you guys did, what you do, you don't, how you provide these different activities and things that you do. And your model emphasizes physical, emotional, and social well-being. But how does that holistic focus shows up day to day in your patients? How have that experience been for each patient?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I would say our holistic model is, and when I say we bring in social and behavioral wellness as well in there, it kind of ties back to the value-based care in terms of, one, you're getting longer appointment times with your doctor. So we know that the doctor experience it can be soothing, right? Depending on where you're at in terms of your health in general. But a lot of patients come to the doctor not feeling so good. And so we want to spend that time in there, obviously talking about your health concerns, but also just touching in on, what's working and socially and, with your well-being versus what's not. And if there's anything that we can do to help on our end, we're offering, different social activities. We're offering these bingoes. We're offering, these stop stops. We're asking you to bring your friends in. If you're at home and you feel lonely or you're the only person at home, come on in, meet with our community members, meet with our team. Like, let us bring some type of uplifting, like to help offset any other disadvantages that may be going on in your life, but also to balance out, everything else. So we do believe holistic coaching and, health and wellness really does play a huge factor in your internal upkeeping as well. So we try to create this full circle approach by offering that and obviously partnering with our community members like you guys, or if it's like the local AARP Augusta chapter, doing stuff to get outside more, get some natural sunlight. We're very mindful and strategic about this. Again, so unlike traditional doctor's office, we're not just your doctor, right? We're something more than that for you.
I like that. I want to follow back up on that. You said a lot of key things in there. You talk about community. You talked about how for the holistic side, the community, the connection. I did a Silver Sneakers program, so that kind of like what some of the things that I did. It's senior living is like a community. They are a community, and and I used to tell my instructors because I was the wellness coordinator there. So I at the YMCA, and I used to test that it's a community. You have to treat them like a community. And so just doing different things, not just, teach them how to move, but get them out to experience, outside or creating different activities for them because they like that connection. Like you said, some of them are by themselves, they're widowers or they're widowed. So you have to creating that experience. So I like that about what you guys are doing and your approach and what you're doing and making this experience and a wow experience for the senior patient because they do like that connection. They do like connecting with humans and they like social environment. They enjoy that. They enjoy that. So I love how you guys your approach to this.
Now, we know you're from this area. You've told us that, but how is that approach in building relationships and trust with the seniors help you here in this area? Sorry, being from this area.
Yeah, good question. I think it's something that it comes like as a natural sense of synergy. It's something that I feel like when I speak with them, and it's as cheesy as it sounds, like a lot of the things that I interact with here, if I'm doing a tour in the center or if I'm out in the community, it just feels like family, and it feels natural, and it feels like I'm talking to an aunt or an uncle, and I don't know too many jobs out there where you get to do that and actually enjoy what you do, right, and still have a nice quality, of living. And it's just something about that that's just so wholesome, and that's coming from someone who I've lived the majority of my adult career life within Atlanta, and this was my first job that I came back home for, if that makes sense. And it had to be a job that would make me jump, and this was one that did make me jump, and I can see why. Because when I'm in this environment, I'm doing it. Like I just started the call. Yes, I'm busy, and like I said, I wanted to be in a doctor today, but I'm in Savannah, and it's a lot of ongoing. But I'm busy because when I'm in it, it feels so natural, and I think a lot of that comes from just me being here. And this is like this is my blood, this is my people, and despite if I'm scientifically connected with someone from a bloodline versus if I just met them, it still feels natural because I think I'm from here, and that just says so much, and it just says so much about how intentional CenterWell was in terms of recruiting, and why they create these roles of the community engagement manager that I do. They create these roles that they're very intentionally designed in terms of who they want in it, and I can see why now.
Okay, you have a question just came in on our live feed, Jacoby. They ask from a holistic perspective, is approach from a holistic approach to medication is different. Is from that, how is that different? Example, herbal. What is it? Do you still provide the traditional modern medicine, or do y'all have any other holistic way of approaching from a medication standpoint?
Gotcha. Great question. And I was disclaimed this by, and I have an official disclaimer, but I'm definitely not a certified medical physician, and I'm not speaking on behalf of, any of our doctors on site or anything. So this is just me speaking, from, again, the community engagement manager position. I will first off say that every case is on a case-by-case basis, right? Second, I will say that I think it's pretty safe to say part of, our value-based care model in terms of keeping our seniors healthy and out of the emergency room, and, again, creating the longer appointment times so we can spend more time dwelling into what are the current medications you may be on, or, finding alternative methods of cure that comes from that, because again, we're not following the fee for service map, we're following the value based care map. So I can't speak specifically on if something was going on, and if one of our doctors would say maybe this needs to be a prescription versus a not. But I will say that I know that part of our model is exploring more routes that don't necessarily have to involve you need to be back, here in 3 weeks, and here's the prescription for that. So if that, I don't know if that kind of helps answer it, but I will say it definitely is a broader spectrum in terms of curing from a holistic approach that doesn't necessarily always need to be a prescription pad. Yes.
Yes, and I like that approach and that answer, because we all it's about prevention, and it also about just behaviors, making some changes, changing some things up, adjusting and correcting some things. So that was a good answer.
So Jacoby, you probably have done it since we've been interviewing you, but if you could just run down the services that CenterWell provide, and also how people can get in contact with CenterWell if they want to get in touch with you.
For sure, absolutely. And again, I'm actually happy you just asked that question, Coach, because since I started this role, a lot of on the tours and the questions that our team gets is, what do you guys do? So I like to everyone, I believe, should have at least a primary care physician. I have a primary care. I'm in my 30s, but I take wellness and health very seriously. And my primary care doctor, they're home based, and your home base should be that person where I'm not sure where to start. Something feels wrong. I just want a second opinion. What would this person do? So my doctor, Dr. Vaught, he is my home base. And so in terms of me going to him, once a quarter for check-ins, blood work, any type of, physical that I might need to do once a year, etc. And then I'll let him decide based off of, what we're talking about if I need to go to a specialist or so. So I say that to say, because a lot of people say, you got to do cardiology, radiology, etc. We don't do anything that's going to be outside of the scope of practice in terms of primary care as your physician on home base, but we do have those outside referrals. So we can definitely partner up with any of your existing specialists that you're probably already working with, especially if you like them. So if you're looking to change your primary care doctor, but you want to keep working with your cardiologist, that's totally okay. We can do that absolutely. And once you come into the center or give us a call to schedule your first appointment with our care team, which is always going to be on site, we are working back office to work on getting your records transferred and all of that back office work. So on your first day, all you do is show up with your ID and your insurance card, and we take over from there. So to answer that question, Bruce, we are your primary care, so your service is generally there. And if you're not sure if we will cover something, I say come in anyway. And then that's, again, it should always be home based as like your barrier of trust there, and then we can kind of go out from there. If there's something that we can't cover inside, we can definitely refer you out. So that would be the answer to that. And then the two locations that we have here in the area, our West Augusta location, like I said, we're off of Wrightsboro Road, and we're right next to Chuck E. Cheese. So I can give you guys the address, but I feel like everyone knows where Chuck E. Cheese is at. But it's 3435 Wrightsboro Road, Suite 1202. And our phone number there is 706-445-2349.
It's right across
And
from the
then
mall,
our
right?
newest location that just opened up in North Augusta, that's off of East Martintown Road. We're in that same plaza next to the Publix and everything. So that one is 326 East Martintown Road, North Augusta, 29841 is the zip code. And the phone number directly there is 803-814-3589. And then lastly, because I want to be sure we touch on all of our things there. If anyone has any direct questions, they're more than welcome to call, my team directly, and this call could be routed to me as well. And that number is 706-288-4828.
I get them
And if
later.
I'm
I
available,
post them.
or unavailable,
I post them later.
someone from my team,
Okay.
directly to
Final
me,
comments.
engagement professionals, they'll definitely reach you back out. So if you want to stop in for a tour, we're happy to help. I'm definitely going to connect with Jackie offline to see if she might want to come teach a fitness class one of these days, maybe next month or December. If she's still moving like that, I would definitely like to have you. But yeah, definitely come in and see us. We're so glad to be here in the community.
All right. So we're going to have wrap it up, Jacoby, but I did want to ask a question. Are you guys networked through TRICARE?
TRICARE, I want to say yes.
No.
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I did see that online. What TRICARE for Life? I think you guys were. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. I
That's
wanted to make sure. So, Jacoby, we are wrapping it up. We're right on the last leg of this. So, I want anything that's on your mind or anything you need to
Sure.
tell the CSRA or share with the CSRA. And, of course, you can repeat those numbers. Go ahead and do so in about 5 minutes.
Okay. Yeah. I think I'm good. I'll leave off by saying, thank you guys so much for the Health Matters show and what you're bringing to this community. having us, especially the community, that longevity has expanded, and we're living longer as humans. And I think our community needs to have this type of report to help support that, because this is still something so new in terms of planning for something longer, and how do we keep our bodies going with that. And we're doing something that I think is so needed. So thank you guys so much for what you're doing. And the next time that we do this, I do want to be there in person with you, because I think that, that again, I'm all about, humans, helping humans, talking to humans. One of the reasons why, I am doing what I'm doing now with CenterWell. So we will be doing this again and again. I'll just leave off with the number to get in contact with, either me directly or someone from my team. If anyone missed it, it's 706-288-4828. And then we can, if you want to give us a call, we can help guide you in terms of, which location, and answer any specific questions tailored to you.
All right, Jacob, it's been a great pleasure to have you here with us, early Saturday morning. we appreciate you coming on. We appreciate you coming on, man. And listen, keep that desire, keep that passion, because that's what drives you. That's what motivates you to do what you do, and take care of the people, man. So we'll talk. We'll see you again.
All right.
Have a great day.
Okay, you have a great, wonderful day. Bye-bye. So, guys, that was Jacoby Carpenter. He is the manager, the community engagement manager for CenterWell Senior Primary Care. And I think this is such, and I had seen these centers popping up, and I'm like, oh. So we ran into each other at an event, so we connected. So we're thanking God that we will stay connected and form a partnership with that. So I hope this has been a blessing to you guys, knowing that there is other options out there that you can get to, because we know today it's hard to get appointments with your primary doctor.
Yes, it is.
It is so hard to get in. So if we can go in and get, appointment, and also still staying connected to your primary doctor, but also having that experience, that human connection, that community feel and relationship, with other seniors. That's awesome. And also having the education part, Coach, teaching about behaviors and diabetes and different things. So that prevention, and the behavior change come in there. So I love it.
Right. And talking about diabetes, we do have a diabetes program that will be starting next week for the community. If you are interested in that, we still have some seats available. So we'll be providing a prevent type 2 diabetes program starting next week. You can call us or go on our website at getfitwithjackie.net, getfitwithjackie.net, or you can call us at 706-592-8862 if you would like to participate in that free program for the community. Listen, we want you to stay tuned for the Concerned Minister Fellowship. They're coming up with You Matter right after us. Pastor Bush, Saturdays with Sean, will be coming up at 10 a.m. And then Midday Motivations with Alicia G at 12, and the New Artist Profile with Tony D at 6 p.m. Don't forget, we have many broadcasts for you to tune into throughout the week. We got Minister Deborah Pearson on with Morning Praise, Pastor Small Morning Praise, Devotion, Community Matters, Mary Harris on Monday through Friday, Afternoon Praise Cafe 12, Minister Arlene Edwards talking it up every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. and then Dinner with the Flock at 5 p.m. every Monday through Friday. We have Reginald Forrest on Education Matters on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. And Pastor O'Neill is Transforming Lives every Thursday at 11 a.m. And Sister Gwen Smalls with Community Matters on Fridays at 11 a.m.
Okay, guys, also remember, always find someone, Father God, to be kind to, because you never know. So an act of kindness to someone, because you never know when that act of kindness may be extended back to you. We'd like to thank you, God, for listening to Help Matters here on Shout 94.7, the voice of the gospel truth. Remember, we're here to help you to be a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We'd like to leave you with 3 John 2, Beloved, I wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, you have a healthy and blessed and wonderful day. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next week. We love you. Love you. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you so much. Thank you.